We have seen what we thought was unseeable. We have seen and taken a picture of a black hole.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 23 scientific discoveries of each year.
The end goal for SpaceX and other private space companies is to create reusable rockets that have turnaround times similar to airplanes.
For this list, we'll be looking at the most groundbreaking discoveries in various scientific fields from each year of the 21st century so far. Which of these gives you the most hope for the future? Let us know in the comments. 2000. First cloned piglets. In the same year that their fictional counterparts cloned Arnold Schwarzenegger in the movie The Sixth Day, real-life scientists managed to pull off the same procedure for pigs. In March of 2000, PPL Therapeutics, a British biotech company, announced that researchers at its laboratories in Blacksburg, Virginia, had successfully cloned 5 healthy piglets. This was made possible by a cutting-edge technique known as the double nuclear transfer method, using cells from an adult pig. The company, which also produced the first cloned mammal, Dolly the sheep, aimed to breed genetically modified pigs that could provide organs for human transplantation.
This was Dolly's greatest legacy, advances in what we call stem cell research.
This marked the first step in a long process that eventually saw the first successful pig-to-human kidney transplant in 2021.
Researchers essentially removed his kidneys and replaced them with ones from a gene-edited pig. The first time this has ever been done.
2001, the age of the universe. The question of when the universe began is one that has puzzled humanity for time immemorial. In 2001, just after scientists published a working draft of the human genome, astronomers from the Hubble Space Telescope Key Project answered the age-old question.
When Hubble was launched, one of its main objectives was to measure the Hubble constant, the expansion rate of the universe, by resolving individual stars in distant galaxies.
Co-led by Wendy Friedman, this group measured the Hubble constant, which describes the rate of the universe's expansion.
The Hubble constant relates the velocity of expansion for a galaxy to its distance.
Using this figure, it was possible to estimate the age of the universe at around 13.7 billion years. This extrapolated figure was the most accurate up until that point, with an error margin of plus or minus 10%. Their findings were supported in 2012 by NASA's Wilkinson Microwave Anisotropy Probe Project, which put the universe's age at 13.772 billion years, give or take 59 million years.
And then there have been recent observations using completely different techniques, actually measuring the background radiation from the Big Bang. It's an independent estimate of the age, which agrees with ours extremely well.
The microwave.
The microwave background.
2002, measuring cosmic microwave background radiation.
It tells us that the universe was once most certainly much smaller, hotter, and denser than it is today.
Speaking of the universe, the widely accepted theory of its origin within the scientific community remains the Big Bang. Simply put, this theory posits that the world began as an infinitely hot and dense point that has significantly expanded and cooled down over time. This process produced leftover heat in the form of cosmic microwave background radiation, which was accidentally discovered in 1965.
It was huge. There was now evidence of a new theory for the beginning of the entire universe.
In the early 2000s, a team of scientists led by the American astrophysicist John Carlstrom managed to obtain incredibly detailed measurements of this radiation. Their results, which were published in a 2002 edition of the Astrophysics Journal, shed more light on the rate of cosmic expansion and supported the existence of dark matter and dark energy. 2003, vital stats of the universe. The early 2000s certainly were a revelatory period for scientists on the exact origin, age, and composition of the universe. Building on scientific findings from preceding years, a team of NASA scientists were able to capture a spectacular image of the early universe. This mission, known as the Wilkinson Microwave Anisotropy Probe, used temperature differences in the cosmic microwave background to reconstruct the cosmos in great detail.
By measuring the afterglow light in all directions of the sky, we basically have a picture of what the universe was like.
The first-year results, which were published in February 2003, gave a more accurate estimate of the age of the universe and provided concrete evidence on the existence of dark matter and dark energy. It's a discovery that at the time was hailed as, quote, one of the most important scientific results of recent years.
WMAP has made a transformational difference in our understanding of the universe.
2004, graphene. In the mid-2000s, a team of 2 physicists at the University of Manchester discovered one of the world's strongest materials.
This stuff is stronger than steel, it's transparent, it conducts electricity and heat better than copper, and could revolutionize electronics, among other things. Where would you find such an exotic material? How about your number 2 pencil?
Although scientists had been fascinated with the carbon compound graphene for decades, they had been unable to extract it from the naturally occurring graphite. However, in 2004, Andrei Guyam and Konstantin Novoselov managed to isolate graphene layers from graphite using a method known as the Scotch tape technique.
So they started doing this. They went back and forth a bunch of times, and each time you do that, it gets a little thinner. And if you keep doing it long enough, it's the thickness of an atom.
This allowed for graphene, which is extremely strong yet also very flexible, to become commercially available. The discovery won Guyam and Novoselov the 2010 Nobel Prize in Physics. 2005, T-Rex tissue. Although we're nowhere close to having a real-life Jurassic Park, this startling discovery shows that it could someday become a reality.
At first, there appeared to be nothing out of the ordinary about this bone. But this bone turned out to be rather special.
In 2005, a group of researchers headed by molecular paleontologist Mary Schweitzer found soft tissue in the leg bone of a 68-million-year-old Tyrannosaurus rex. The proteins inside were found to be similar to bird collagen. This proved to be quite controversial, as most scientists didn't think such biological material could last more than 1 million years. It was confirmed, however, a few years later. Not only did it provide evidence that soft tissue could survive for millennia, it also further supported the link between dinosaurs and modern birds.
What was so exciting about it is that the new tools and technology of molecular biology might now be used to understand these long-vanished creatures.
2006. Dark matter's existence confirmed directly.
By looking at the rotation speeds of stars, scientists estimate that about 85% of the mass of a galaxy is dark matter.
Although experts had never demonstrably observed dark matter, its presence had always been implied by otherwise inexplicable gravitational effects in the universe. In 2006, however, a team of NASA scientists announced that they had discovered direct evidence proving the existence of the invisible and mysterious force. Using NASA's Chandra X-ray Observatory and a couple of other telescopes, the team studied the aftermath of a massive collision between 2 clusters of galaxies. They found that normal matter and dark matter had been separated in a way that directly proves the existence of the latter. While it is yet to be seen, this puts scientists a step closer to getting a glimpse of the invisible substance. 2007. Enzymes that convert any blood type to O. Blood transfusion is an important medical practice that saves many lives. However, the presence of specific antigens in certain blood types can trigger adverse immune reactions if a patient is given blood of the wrong type.
Their antibodies will reject the foreign antigens and attack them, potentially causing the transfused blood to clot.
Due to its lack of these antigens, type O blood is generally referred to as the universal donor. In 2007, an international team of scientists headed by Henrik Clausen discovered a way to convert any kind of blood to type O. They used bacterial enzymes to break down these antigens from type A, B, and AB blood, essentially rendering them safe enough to be transferred to anyone.
Scientists say they have identified enzymes from the human gut that can turn type A and B blood into type O up to 30 times more efficiently than previously studied enzymes.
2008. Mars' surface shows signs of water. Today, the surface of Mars is dry and cold, but scientists believe that billions of years ago, it possessed a significant amount of water. Due to its extremely low atmospheric pressure, the red planet cannot hold the liquid form on its surface. Hence, any residual water on Mars would exist either in the form of ice or as vapor in the atmosphere. In 2008, NASA's Mars Phoenix lander collected samples from the surface of the planet that showed the presence of bright material, later confirmed to contain ice.
You got a water signal.
Water.
Dad, Billy discovered water again.
Yep. Water on Mars.
This discovery not only confirmed scientific theories about the presence of water, it also pointed to the possible existence of biological life on Mars.
Phoenix is really a stepping stone in the pathway of finding evidence for habitable zones and then perhaps later life on Mars.
2009, life extension breakthrough. 2009 was the year that scientists were able to teleport information between two distant atoms for the first time. Researchers also made a major breakthrough that could offer a glimpse of hope in unlocking the secrets to longevity. The study was a collaborative effort between scientists from 3 institutions who gave elderly mice rapamycin, an antibiotic used to treat certain cancers.
Rapamycin is currently one of the most promising anti-aging interventions that we have, and it's known to extend health span and lifespan in multiple laboratory animals.
They found that the drug extended lifespan by 14% in female mice and 9% in males. The exact mechanism by which rapamycin achieves this is unknown, but the promising findings only prove that anti-aging drugs for humans could be on the horizon.
We're still a very long way from applying this regime in humans, but a short-term treatment of rapamycin would of course be much more practical because it's easier to take a drug for a shorter amount of time, and also there will be less side effects.
2010, synthetic bacteria. Scientists may not fully understand the origin of life, but that hasn't stopped them from tinkering with some of the oldest creatures on Earth. In 2010, an international team successfully sequenced the Neanderthal genome, which revealed significant interbreeding between archaic and modern humans. Meanwhile, another team, led by Dr. John Craig Venter, synthesized a piece of DNA which they injected into a bacterial cell.
Instead of having a genetic relative that it evolved from, the parent of this cell is a computer.
This formulated genome was able to take over the cell, leading to the production of proteins specific to it. Many may question the motives behind synthesizing bacteria, considering their potential harmful effects and the possibility of biological warfare.
This may allow us to make more virulent viruses. This could unleash a bacterium on the world that has properties we didn't expect that could cause great disease.
However, researchers envision a future where such microbes can be custom built to boost production of biofuels, vaccines, and many other useful chemicals. 2011, a possibly habitable Earth-like planet. In December of 2011, scientists at NASA announced that they had discovered the first exoplanet comfortably orbiting within the habitable zone of a sun-like star.
The discovery was announced by a team of astronomers using the Kepler Space Telescope. Launched in 2009, Kepler's sole purpose is to hunt for Earth-like worlds around other stars.
What that means is that the newly discovered planet, known as Kepler-22b, was found in a region that permits the existence of liquid water on the planet's surface. Kepler-22b, which is about 620 light-years away from us, also possesses quite a few Earth-like characteristics. It has an orbital period of about 290 days, which is just 75 days less than Earth's, and is believed to have a moderate surface temperature. While the actual habitable conditions are still unclear, this find puts scientists one step closer to discovering a home away from home.
We will not be able to visit Kepler-22b anytime soon to see for ourselves if life really does exist there. But that hasn't stopped the SETI Institute from using the Allen Telescope Array and taking a listen for any possible artificial signals coming from Kepler-22b.
2012. Tracking down the Higgs boson.
Shortly after the Big Bang, when the universe was created, the Higgs boson came into being and gave all the other particles substance.
For all the buzz that this particle generated for years, its eventual discovery definitely merits recognition as the scientific breakthrough of 2012. First proposed in 1964, the Higgs boson, also known as the God particle, was instrumental in explaining how certain particles get their mass. But due to its highly unstable nature, scientists were unable to observe it directly for decades. That is, until 2012, when the subatomic particle was finally scientifically proven using the Large Hadron Collider at CERN, which was created specifically for this purpose.
And full of emotion at the news, the British scientist who predicted the particle's existence.
For me, it's really an incredible thing that it's happened in my lifetime.
The all-important discovery fulfilled predictions that were made decades ago and filled in a missing piece in the standard model of particle physics. 2013. Water vapor from Jupiter's moon, Europa. On Earth, water has always been linked to life. For that reason, its presence on other celestial bodies hints to astronomers that life could be supported there. In 2013, the same year when the first ever lab-grown hamburger was produced, NASA's Hubble Space Telescope captured what was believed to be a puff of water vapor erupting from the surface of Europa, one of Jupiter's moons.
Now, water could mean the potential for life, and the water plume tells scientists they could get a sample.
This image only served to support previous scientific theories about the existence of an ocean beneath Europa's surface. And if that is indeed the case, it presents a great opportunity for future projects to analyze the composition of this water without having to drill the icy surface of the moon. Launching in 2024, the Europa Clipper hopes to do just that. 2014. Brain-like computer chip. In some ways, the human mind is just as interesting a frontier as space. In 2014, researchers used lasers to manipulate memories in mice, causing them to react the same way as when they'd received an electric shock earlier. That same year, a team at IBM unveiled their own groundbreaking creation, True North, a computer chip that processes information in a similar fashion as the brain. Instead of a CPU, this chip is equipped with 1 million programmable neurons, which interact with each other in much the same way as those of the human brain. The product of a nearly decade-long research, True North has potential real-world applications and could be instrumental in future technological development.
We're looking to change how we fundamentally solve large-scale scientific computing and simulation problems, both in the interest of basic science and advancing the state-of-the-art, as well as solving critical problems in the mission space of national security.
2015. Reusable rocket.
The end goal for SpaceX and other private space companies is to create reusable rockets that have turnaround times similar to airplanes.
2015 was a great year for astronomy and space exploration. Not only did NASA discover Earth's older cousin, Kepler 452b, Elon Musk's company, SpaceX, achieved a major milestone in making space travel far more affordable. In December of that year, the company made a major step in developing reusable rockets when they successfully landed the first stage of their Falcon 9 spacecraft back on Earth. Roughly 2 years later, they broke further ground by launching a reused craft back into space for the first time ever. Since then, the company has sent several missions into orbit, including their first all-civilian crew in April 2022. With these, they seem poised to make commercial space travel a reality. 2016. Evidence of Planet 9. Many of us grew up learning that there were 9 planets in our solar system. That number, however, dropped by 1 in 2006 when Pluto was demoted to a dwarf planet. In 2016, 2 Caltech researchers stumbled upon a discovery that could take that number back up to 9. Using the Canada-France-Hawaii telescope, Konstantin Batygin and Mike Brown found evidence of a 9th planet lurking in the dark outer solar system.
Went from trying very hard to be skeptical that what we were talking about was true to suddenly thinking, oh, this actually might even be true.
So why hasn't Planet 9, with a mass roughly 10 times that of Earth, been added to our celestial roster? Well, the existence of the heavenly body still hasn't been directly confirmed. In fact, in 2021, another research team published findings which pretty much dismissed the evidence of Planet 9. So the hunt continues.
History shows us that it's a bad idea to consistently say we have now reached the end of the solar system and there's nothing beyond what we already know.
2017. Artificial wombs.
Our system is really a recreation of the environment that a fetus normally resides in.
A lot of time, money, and energy goes into research that seeks groundbreaking new ways to improve human lives. In 2017, scientists made a leap in DNA technology after creating an artificial pair of genetic bases that they hope will lead to the creation of more efficient medications. Another team at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia successfully built an artificial womb in which they were able to nurture premature lamb fetuses for 4 weeks.
We did not have grants at the time, so it really required a bit of innovation to create the first prototype really from nothing.
Dubbed a biobag, the device functions similarly to the uterus. It contains an amniotic fluid and is equipped with an umbilical cord that supplies oxygenated blood to the fetus. Although still in its early stages, the biobag could someday be used to grow premature babies to term. 2018. Early detection of cancer.
This is the lab where researchers created what could be the future of cancer detection.
All around the world at this very moment, Scientists are hard at work discovering solutions to diseases and ways to detect them early on. In 2018, researchers at Newcastle University produced the first ever 3D printed human corneas, which could significantly help people suffering from corneal blindness. In that same vein, a team at the Johns Hopkins Kimmel Cancer Center broke new ground in cancer screening when they developed a test that could detect the disease in its early stages. The new test, known as CancerSeek, uses a non-invasive method to screen for biomarkers associated with 8 common cancer types. This technique could potentially detect tumors before they turn fatal, thereby saving many lives.
The earlier you catch it, the higher the chance of saving the life, not just prolonging the life, but saving the life of the individual.
2019, the first image of a black hole.
We have seen what we thought was unseeable.
What would it look like gazing into the abyss? That question had plagued scientists for decades. In 2019, they finally got their answer. Up until that point, there had been no way of capturing an image of a black hole. The supermassive entities devour anything in their path, including light, which made it virtually impossible to take a picture of them. But in April, an international collaboration of scientists from the Event Horizon Telescope project revealed an image of a black hole in the heart of the Messier 87 galaxy.
They used 8 radio telescopes stationed at different points across the world and kept them all in sync with powerful atomic clocks.
Located over 50 million light-years away from Earth, it's as massive as 6.5 billion suns. This glimpse into the dark space could shed a light on some of the universe's greatest mysteries. 2020, production of COVID-19 vaccines. Producing a new vaccine is normally a long and arduous process that typically takes anywhere from 5 to 15 years. However, in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, scientists around the world were galvanized into action and developed a vaccine in under a year.
The secret behind this speed is a medical technology that's been developing for decades, the mRNA vaccine.
This broke the record for the fastest period of production for a vaccine, which was previously 4 years for the mumps shot. Although no small feat, COVID-19 researchers didn't need to start from scratch, as years of progress on a MERS vaccine provided a blueprint for them to work with. As the pandemic was such a significant event in 2020, this breakthrough arguably overshadowed other discoveries, like the success of DeepMind's AI AlphaFold in predicting protein structures.
Imagine a future where we can understand diseases more quickly and develop drugs to fight them. Or one where we could use enzymes to break down plastic waste, or even to capture carbon from the atmosphere.
2021, CRISPR gene editing treats genetic disease.
CRISPR-Cas9 holds a lot of promise, but up till now, all the treatments in human clinical trials have been ex vivo. They have relied on taking cells out of the body in order to edit them.
In the 21st century alone, scientists have not only created synthetic DNA, they've also developed a method by which genetic material can be edited. The CRISPR gene editing technique is a precise system that makes use of RNA and an enzyme known as Cas9 to cut out specific parts of the genome. The researchers who developed this technique were awarded the Nobel Prize for Chemistry in 2020 and got the opportunity to see their creation in practice the very next year. That June, CRISPR was administered to people with a fatal hereditary disease, and the drug significantly reduced blood levels of the toxic proteins associated with the illness.
What they found is that after one administration of this CRISPR technology, they reduced that protein in the high dose by 87%.
This, it seems, only scratches the surface in the endless possibilities of CRISPR. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into Settings and switch on your notifications. 2022, Pluto's ice volcanoes. 2022 brought many amazing discoveries, from a new treatment for Alzheimer's disease to the first nuclear fusion experiment where more energy was produced than had been put in. Earlier in the year, another revolutionary discovery was made, not here on Earth, but far away on everyone's favorite dwarf planet, Pluto. Back in 2015, NASA's New Horizons mission took detailed images of Pluto's icy surface, which were studied for years. In 2022, researchers announced that certain domes they observed on the planet's exterior were caused by volcanoes that pushed water up from the subsurface to the surface.
This is one of the most amazing finds we made at Pluto. It's a giant ice volcano that was
apparently active late in the history of the solar system. There are almost no craters on the flanks of this structure.
These images suggest that Pluto's interior may be warmer than scientists think and possess exciting possibilities about its surprising potential for biological life.
And now, the New Horizons team believes that heat could be warming an ocean of water beneath the surface of Pluto. It is a stunning discovery.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.